Good morning, children. Next topic is creating a document. So I'll be showing you how to create a document in Microsoft Word because I don't have this in my laptop. LibreOffice is not there in my laptop, so I will be showing you an example by using Microsoft Office. So after opening the Word document, so how to create a new document? So for creating a new document, go to the file, this icon. This is the file menu, and in that you have to click on new. From the new, by clicking, it will ask you whether you have to open a blank document or any template. The template, so many template formats are there, so you can open any of the templates already available, or you can just create a blank document. So by clicking on the blank document, a blank document will appear. So now you can save the file by clicking on the file menu and save. So you can save the file by either in Word there is a shortcut there is a save button. By clicking on that you can save, or you can go to the file menu, then there is a save option, or you can use save as, and using any format you can save the file. So let us save this. Save. So the location where you want to save. So on desktop, the name is, I have given name as report. So the file formats are here. Any file format you can save the file. So I am saving the file as Word 97 2003 document. Then save. So the file will be saved on the desktop. Now you can save the file by using this save button. Also you can save the file. Save button will, suppose you have made any change in this document. Suppose you have added few lines, ASDFGH. So you have added some lines and you want to change this and save it in the previous location itself. So for that you have to just click on save. So what happens? The document will be saved to the previous location itself. No need of giving save as. Or you can use a shortcut, that is Control and S. So Control key and S. Click on that Control and S. You will automatically save that file. It is a keyboard shortcut. Then in LibreOffice, our file will be saved in .odt format. So our Word file will be saved as .doc format. So you can see, if I save this document, its file format will be .doc. So you can see in our location. So this is the file that we have saved. So it looks like, go to properties and check what is the file format. So here you can see the file format of our document. So it is .doc because our document is in Microsoft Word. Likewise in LibreOffice, our document will have the file extension as .odt. Now if you want to close this file, when you want to close this file, here in the file menu there is an option close. Click on that, or you can go to this red color cross button and you can close the file. And if you want, if it is already you have created some files, so if you want to open a file, then go to file, then click on open, then provide on the desktop there will be so many Word files, and click on which Word file you want to open. Suppose I want to open the acknowledgement and certificate Word file, then click on this, then click on the open button, then that particular Word document will be opened. Now if you want to close this file, go to file menu, then here at the bottom you can see close, so click on close. Then next is the parts of now if you want to save a file using password, then you have to select save, select the location on the disk to save the file, then type a suitable name for the document, then click on save button, and to save the document with password, put a tick on the checkbox and save with the password. Now type the password to open the file in set password dialog box, then type the same password in the second box and click OK button. So I'll show you in Microsoft Word how you can give password. So first open the document what you want to give password. So go to open and open the document, then click on the prepare button. So go to prepare button, then these menus will appear, and go to encrypt document, then click on the encrypt document, then encrypt the contents of this file, then click on what password you want to give, then after giving the password click OK, so that password is set. Now if you want to open the document, you can open the document by providing the specific password. Next is parts of the writer window. First one is the title bar. So writer window means this window is the writer window. So what you when we open a Word document, what all things appear on the screen is a window. So this is a window. So let us see what are the parts of a writer window. So the various parts of the writer window have been briefly explained below. First one is title bar. So title bar is located on the top of writer window. It shows the title of the currently opened document. The name of the document means the file name of the document saved on the disk. For a new document, it shows the title of the document untitled X. So for a new document, the title will be given as untitled document. So the title that is given is the title bar. So in a Word document, you can see here report. You can see here report. So this is the title bar. So the bar which shows the title is the title bar. So here our Word document has a name, that is report. So its title is shown on the title bar. Next is the menu bar. It appears below the title bar. It shows the menu items: file, edit, view, insert, format, tables, tools, window, and help. On selecting a menu item, its sub-menu will open below the main menu, and we can select any item in the sub-menu as per the requirement. So if there is an arrow, the submenu items which shows right hand side arrow just after the submenu name means clicking on it will open another submenu. So you can see here submenus having arrows. So these arrows, when we click on these submenus, it will open up again a submenu. Again a submenu will open up. So in a Word document you can see, so insert, page layout, so these are menus, and these menus are on the menu bar. So this is a menu bar containing so many menus. Now in a menu itself, this is also a menu. For Microsoft Office, this file button is called Office button. Now when we click on, you can see arrows. So these arrows indicate that there are again menus. For this, no arrow is there for these options, but for this sub menu there is arrow. So you can see again sub menu is there. For this one also there is arrow. So these arrows, right-handed arrows, indicate that there are sub menus in a menu. Now toolbar. So the toolbar appears below the menu bar. By default, the standard toolbar and formatting toolbar will appear. The other toolbars can be activated by clicking on View menu and selecting the toolbars of submenu. The users can choose the required toolbar by clicking on it. The selected toolbar will show this sign before the toolbar. Suppose we select the find toolbar, then the find word in the toolbar will appear as this find. So we can see this toolbar. So you can see there are clipboard, font, paragraph. So these are different toolbars. So first one, this is the title bar, this is the menu bar, and this is the toolbar. Okay, this bar is the toolbar. Next is standard toolbar. It contains commands in the form of icons. So in the standard toolbar, it contains commands in the form of icons. So this is the title bar, this is the menu bar, this is the standard toolbar which contains icons. Then formatting toolbar, this contains, we can format our text or images, so anything can be formatted. It contains the various options for formatting a document. A graphical representation of commands is shown in the form of icons. So in Microsoft Word, these each tools are called formatting toolbars. So this whole is a standard toolbar and each option is a formatting toolbar. Then next is status bar. So this is a positioning at the left bottom of the writer window and displays the number of pages, words and languages used, zooming, etc. It is located at the bottom of the workspace. Then scroll button and scroll bar. So you can see this is the status bar. Can you see this? Page 1 of 1, words 232, English, India. So this is the status bar. That is the in a word in this Word document which is the current page and how many pages are there, then how many words are there, which is the language used, then zooming, that is 100% zooming. So this is the status bar showing the status. Now this bar is the scroll bar. Scroll bar contains the scroll bar and the scroll button. This light blue color is the scroll button. Then zoom. It allows to change the scale of the text and picture in the document only for viewing, just for our visual effect. It does not affect the physical document. It is used to check the finishing quality of the document. To know the meaning of other tools, position and mouse pointer on the tool, we have to see the tooltip. So this page 1 of 1 indicates the page number, then word count and character count, then its default style, then language, then here the selection mode, then document change status, then the view layout, that is in single page or double page, how the document is shown, then the zoom slider, that is how much percentage zoom, then zoom percentage. So here you can see, if I click on this, it is shown single page. Now if I click here, full screen reading will be shown. Now to go back, you can click on the escape. Now here percentage, zoom percentage is there 100. Now this is the zooming bar, so where you can zoom in and zoom out. Now if I click on this, it is 64%, and you can see the size is, the page is zoomed in, zoomed out. Next is cursor movement. Now observe the motion of the text cursor and press the different cursor control keys on the keyboard and watch how the text cursor move around. So text cursor is a flashing vertical line in the body of the text. The 4 arrow keys, that is these 4 arrow keys on the keyboard, are called as cursor control keys. So on the right side of the keyboard there are arrow keys and they are called cursor control keys. So with these keys we can control the cursor on the screen. So the 2 keys which are on the top of the cursor control keys are home key and end key. So it is on the topmost part of the numeric keypad, that is home key is there and end key. So home key will move the cursor. If I click on the home key will move the cursor to the start position of the document, and end key will move the cursor to the end position of the line. Home key will move the cursor to the first position and end key will move the cursor to the end position of the document. Then when these keys are pressed in combination with control key, the cursor jumps to the beginning and end of the document. So if we press only the home key, then it will move to the first line of that where the cursor is present. Now if we press end, then it will move to the last of the line where the cursor was present. Now if we press it with control, it will move to the starting position of the document. If control plus home is pressed, then it will move the cursor to the starting position of the document. And if we press control plus end key, it will move the cursor to the bottom of the document. So you can see this is the cursor. Now cursor is at, we can place the cursor in between. Now you can see the cursor is blinking. So when I click on the home key, you can see the cursor moves to the same line but in the first position. Now when I click on the end key, the cursor will move to the last position of the same line. Now if I press Ctrl plus home, the cursor will move to the first position of this document. Now if I press Ctrl plus end, the cursor will move to the last position of this document. Now mouse pointer. So you know mouse pointer, when we click on the mouse pointer will look in a different forms. So one type of mouse pointer is this. So this is the mouse pointer. It takes the pointer shape while moving it around the screen. When we move the mouse around the screen, the shape of the mouse pointer will be like this. So the mouse pointer changes to I shape when moved over the text in a document. Now you can see when the here mouse pointer is just I shape. You can see my mouse pointer, it is in the I shape because I am moving it around the text. Now if I move it from outside the text part, you can see it is in the form of this shape. Okay, takes the pointer shape while moving it around the screen. Now when it detects this text, its mouse pointer changes to I shape. So moving the I-shaped mouse pointer over the text around and clicking on the desired text helps to get the text cursor while editing the document. Thus mouse is used to control the text cursor location. So text cursor means just this blinking. Now children, look at this activity. So you have to type this activity in your, those who have laptops, you can type it in laptop, and those who have mobile phone can install Microsoft Word in your mobile phone, or you can use Google Doc and type this. And do this activity. Now editing the document. So for editing the document, first one is undo and redo. And you can see there are shortcuts, that is Ctrl O for opening a file, and Ctrl Z for undo, and Ctrl Y for redo. Okay, Ctrl Z for undo and Ctrl Y for redo. Then for copying, Ctrl C, for cutting, Ctrl X, and for pasting, Ctrl V. So you should remember all these shortcuts, then only you will be able to easily use this Word document and do your task without just focusing on the mouse. You can easily use keyboard shortcuts for copying and pasting. Then let us see what are the keyboard shortcuts. Now suppose I have made here A, B, C, D. So I have typed few characters. Now I want to undo this. So here you can see an arrow, that is undo typing. So it will undo the last what I have done. So when I click on this, it will undo what operations I have done. Now this is the redo button. When I click on this redo, it will it will type what I had undone. So for doing undo and redo, there are keyboard shortcuts, that is Control and Z. Now you can see, now I am going to press Control Z. So while pressing the Control Z, you can see it is undone. Now if I press Control Y, it is done again. Okay, so these are the keyboard shortcuts for redo and undo. Now I want to copy this text 3 times. So either you can select this part using mouse and click on the right button, then select copy, or use keyboard shortcut, that is Control C. Then click on the place where you want to copy. Suppose I want to copy it here, then make the cursor appear here, then press. Either you can right click on the mouse, then paste option will appear, or you can use Control V. So Control V, you can see the same thing I have copied from here and I have pasted here. Suppose I don't want this here, but I need it here. For that I have to use cut and paste. So I will click here, then select, so cut, and then I will click here and paste. Or I can use the keyboard shortcut key, that is Control X. I have pressed Control X, Control key and X key, and I will place it where I want to paste. So I will click Control V. So it has been removed from here and pasted here. So these are the control shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts. Now if I want to select the whole text in this document without using mouse, so for selecting I can drag the mouse pointer to the bottom, but without dragging, if I want to select the whole document, I can use Control plus Control and A. So it will select all the text in the document. Control key and A, alphabet key A, press both the keys simultaneously. So it will select all the document. Suppose you want to select non-consecutive text, that is text which are in different places. Suppose the text is not continuous and you have been asked to select a part of the text from a paragraph. Then perhaps you may say that it is not possible to select the non-consecutive text. But this writer provides a way to select the non-continuous text using the keyboard and mouse. That is by using the Control key, that is select the first piece of text. So select the first piece of text, press the Control key, do not release the Control key, then again select the other text that you want to select, and again go and select all the text that you want to select without releasing the Control key. After selecting, copy the text and paste wherever you want. So I have pressed the control key, then I will select the particular text. Then here, which all things I want to select. I will click with mouse and I will copy. Now I will paste here. You can see all the things that I have selected has come here. Is it? So I will undo this by pressing Ctrl Z. For selecting multiple items, you have to, which are not consecutive, which are not together. If it is together, you can drag the mouse and select. But if it is not together, you click on the control key and do not release it. And click on the words that you want to select. After selecting all the words, do not release the control key. Just Control C, that is copy, and then Control V, that is paste. Now if we want to select like this, that is a particular column, then you can use, to select the vertical block of text, select from the menu, edit, then selection mode, then block area, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl plus F8. Ctrl plus F8. F8 is a function key which will be on the top of the keyboard. So there are 12 function keys, and you have to use Control key and F8 key simultaneously. Then you can select which all vertical rows without selecting the other things that are present here. So you can see here we have a table. So if I want to select these, you can see it is being so just click on the Control and F8 and drag the mouse and copy the text and paste it here. Now if you want to replace a text, a same text you want to replace with a single word, so there is a find and replace. So this feature is used to search for a text and replace it with other text. So for that, go to edit, find and replace. The dialog box will open, and type the text to find in the find box and press the replace. So here in Microsoft Word you can see find and replace. So click on the find what you want to find. So suppose I want to find the word high school. In that I want to for high school I have to replace it with UP. So I will find that high and replace with UP. Okay, so here it is there, replace all. So replace will replace only the selected text. So we have already selected one high school, so only that text. Or replace all means if there are any high words in the, any word high in the document, all the document words will be replaced by up. So I have given here, so Word has searched to the end of the document, 0 replacement were made. Do you want to continue searching at the beginning? Sorry, not up, here. So you first select the word, then click on find, then click on replace. So here we will find the word high and replace it with UP. UP, then replace all. Yes. So it is being replaced by UP. High school has been replaced by UP school certificate. Now if there are so many words with high, then all the words will be replaced by word that is given in the replace text box. Now jumping to the page number. Sometimes we may require to jump to a particular page number. It becomes difficult to scroll down if it is a large document with several pages. In such a situation, go to page feature of writer is useful. To do this, select the edit menu and go to page keyboard short, or there is a keyboard shortcut Ctrl+G, and specify the page number there. Then it will take you to that particular page number. So in Microsoft Word, there is an option to go to. Here you can click on find, then you can see a go to option. So click on go to, or you can press Ctrl+G and plus the page number which you want to go. So enter page number 2, then OK. So it will take you to the page number 2. So here only one page is there, that is why it is not showing. If multiple pages are there, it will show. So consider this. Here there are so many pages, and when we click on find, go to page 2, go to. So it will take you to the second page of the document. Now in a computer data entry, anything entered is treated as a character. So whatever thing that we type is considered as a character. Even full stop, comma, everything is a character. So we can see the characters like alphabet, numbers, punctuation marks on the computer screen. But when you press keys like enter, space bar and tab key, that do not appear on the screen. So we will not see whether there is a space, or whether there is a enter key press, or whether there is a tab key press we cannot understand in the Word document that we see. So we are actually entering these characters in the document. So it is very helpful to see these non-printable characters on the display to see the exact formatting of the document. So whenever we see these enter key press is there, or there is a tab key press is there, so if we can see that key press, it will be easy to understand the formatting, that is how much space is given between each document, each line, or if there is an enter key press is there. So we can easily understand how the document is formatted, that is what our formatting conditions are given. So display these non-printing characters, we can press the toggle formatting mark. This mark is called toggle formatting. You can see a blue color mark, or use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl+F10. The tab space is shown by this arrow, and space bar is shown by dot. So we can click here. So in Microsoft Word, if we want to give formatting marks, that is where our space. So for that you can click on Control key, Shift key and asterisk, that is star. Then the formatting marks will appear. That is how many times the enter key is pressed will be shown. Then the space is given by dots. You can see here are so many dots are there, so each space is given dots. Then tab key is not pressed. If tab is pressed, then it will be shown by enter key. Suppose I have pressed a tab, so it is showing enter key. No arrow key, right side arrow key for each tab press. Now if you want to remove this, again press Control Shift and star. So these formatting will be removed. Now we can check the spelling and grammar mistakes. So in Microsoft Word, there are red color will appear, a red line will appear for spelling mistakes and green color will appear for grammar mistakes. So if I write here sector is a field, so for that if I write sector R, a field which is undergoing, so you can see there is a grammar mistake. If sectors are it was okay, but sector R there is a green line appearing, so this green line indicates that there is a grammar mistake and red color line indicates that there is a spelling mistake. So if I in national, if I write delete one letter O, then it will create a red line at the bottom of the text that indicates that there is a spelling mistake. So these are not words in English, so that's why it is showing red color in bottom of that word, but these are words which are English words, so it's spelling, so we can easily correct these words. Now sometimes you search for a word having a similar meaning in the word you have in mind. So a word processor helps you to look up synonyms and antonyms in the thesaurus. So the list of synonyms can be accessed from a context menu. For that, right click on a word and point to synonyms. On the context menu, a sub-menu of alternative words and phrases are displayed. Then click on a word or phrase in the sub-menu to replace it with the highlighted word or phrase in the document. So synonyms are different from a dictionary. A dictionary contains definitions and pronunciations, whereas thesaurus will have words with similar meanings or opposite meanings. So if we click on this word and the sub menu, that is these, type, thieves. So similar meaning names will arrive and you have to select any one from it. That is, if this image shows this spell check error, it, if you use Google Docs it will be easy, they also show this suggestions, but in Microsoft Word it do not show suggestions. Like if you click on this and right click, it will not show you suggestions. If you click ignore, it will be red mark will be removed. To remove this red mark you can click either on I click select and click ignore, so it will ignore what is there. Okay, thank you children. Today's class is over.